You're watching Metallica Mania. This is part 3. This is a redo of one that I kind of messed up on. I said something that, well, because I don't edit. Because I don't edit these videos, I couldn't take it out, so I have to redo the whole thing. And I wanted to keep it to a minimum, so this one will be a little bit shorter than it was previously. Yeah, I didn't want to include the thing, some part that got said in the background in that video, so I'm redoing the whole video. So might be a little bit on the not so good part, but I'll try to make it as good as possible because I'm really good at redoing videos. um Coming in at number 20, Gravedigger, Fields of Blood. What an album. Has that power metal, thrash metal style that they're known for. It's got songs like The Heart of Scotland, and also it's about the Scottish rebellion against England. Um, Definitely a cool concept. Um, they've done this concept a few other times, but this one is more it's better executed on this album. It starts out with the Clansman's Journey. I'm gonna say it right now. It's not about what that is in America. It's about that in Scotland. So there's two different definitions. There's the Scottish clans, and then there's the kind of idiotic fucking bullshit that goes on in the States. Just to clarify, that's not what that is about. Um, Lands of the Sea, Freedom, um, and that's a song name. I know that's offensive in Scotland, so sorry about that. But as you can see, that's a actual song on here, so don't get too offended. Sorry about my nails too. I keep them pretty long to be able to open things, and yeah, sorry about that. Thousand Tears, pretty good song. Overall, great album. Great album. It's got such an original sound to it, and it has great song variety. And historical theme like Sabaton, definitely like it. And definitely one of my favorites of 2020. Going into the next one is Moore's Principium East with 7. Hopefully I said that right because I don't know how to say this band's name. Um, Original sound kind of sounds like Children of Bodom. It's melodic death metal, of course, my favorite genre, death metal, but this is the melodic variety. Um, Great first song, always a good thing to start out with. Like I emphasize this heavily that the first song makes the whole album, and that's what went on here. Made the album pretty good. Shit. Great flowing melodic riffs. March to War is great. It's a great track. Gets better and better as you listen. And that's all I gotta say for this. That's all I had written down in the notes. Going to the next one. Trivium, What the Dead Men Say. What to say about this album? It is, well, it's a different sound than any of their albums because Trivium has the great thing of making all their albums sound completely different than their last one. And I fucking love that about this band. I definitely love that about Trivium, about how all their albums sound different. Um, Songs like Sickness Unto You, my favorite one on here. It's definitely a hard hitting and definitely heart hitting track because the lyrics, lyrical concept for it is pretty dark and kind of sad. Um, 3, Catastrophist. 2 is What the Dead Men Say, which is the opener, as I call it. The intro is the IX song. So yeah, this song, this album is fantastic. Like fantastic. It's got even Bending the Arc to Fear and Scattering the Ashes is fantastic. All the songs are fantastic on here. There's nothing bad, and I could listen to this any day. Like, I love this album. I really didn't like it the first time I listened to it, but as soon as I listened to it again, I just loved it. So we're gonna go into the next one, which is a very controversial album. It has, as you would know, Iced Earth's guitarist John Schaefer on it. Number 17 is Demons and Wizards with 3, their third record. Probably their last record, if we're gonna be honest, with what just went on with John Schaefer. Not gonna get into that. I will not get into that on this channel. Yeah, I like his music. I can separate the artist from the music. I don't really think anything bad bad about John Schaefer for the bullshit that went on. But yeah, starting out with the first track, Diabolic. Holy shit, this song starts out great. This album starts out great with that song. And then Invincible, Wolves in Winter, Final Warning, Timeless Spirit, which is fantastic. It's really long. It's a really long song. Dark Side of Her Majesty, Midas Disease, my least favorite one on here, but a good concept about how that money and riches is kind of a disease. We can all agree that that is quite fact. New Dawn, Universal Truth, Split, and Children of Cain. Oh my god, Children of Cain is awesome. It's got the hard hitting parts, it's got the slow parts, it's just so good, and it's a 10-minute track, so just look at it that way. That this uh, Schaefer and Hansi, hopefully that's how you say his name, because I'm really not good with pronunciation, but they can make short songs and long songs, and they're all good. This band is one of the best bands that's ever existed, and this album is a huge experiment for them because it's a little bit different than their other two, and can take quite a bit of listening to it to actually get it. So yeah, I consider this album perfect, beyond like almost beyond perfect, as most of these albums are. And yeah, I'll move on. Number 16, Lamb of God with their self-title. Holy crap! Oh, we haven't had a good Lamb of God album in a long time. This sounds like classic Lamb of God. They got breakdowns in here, which they've never done that really before. They got stuff like Memento Mori that starts the album off pretty good. Checkmate, Gears, Reality Bath, New Colossal Hate just rips your eardrums completely out with those songs, and then Resurrection Man, just slow, hard hitting, and then goes into a breakdown. Poison Dream with Jamie Josta from Hatebreed. Like, what's not to like about this album? It is so fantastic. Um, Routes featuring Chuck Billy from Testament. We have Testament on this album. We have the vocalist for Testament on this album as a guest vocalist. Bloodshot Eyes and On the Hook. What a good ending to this album was On the Hook. Love this album from front to back. It definitely belongs on this list. There's nothing that I despise on this. Nothing I don't like as much as something else. Just overall good all the way through. Number 15. We're going to go to number 15, which is Brothers of Metal with Endless Saga. A concept album about the I think it's the Norse gods, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Don't get mad about that because I don't know. I do not know. But I know Power Snake is about a big ass serpent. Love the concept of this album. The lyrics are fantastic. Stuff like Chainbreaker, Theft of the Hammer, which is about the theft of Thor's hammer. Oh, the songs are just great. Endless Saga, which is just this big long song. Just great. Just great stuff on this album. And now we go to songs that albums that I do not own on CD. Um, Coming in at number 14 is Dawn of Solace with Waves. The vocalist on this album is the vocalist from Wolfheart. I listened to Wolfheart's album, and like, Wolfheart's album got a 93. This album was better than Wolfheart's album. Like, this band, Dawn of Solace, released one in 2006, and it's been that long since 2020 to actually release again, and it's fantastic what the release is. It's so just, well, it's just so mellow. It's just such a mellow, like, depressing type feel, but with the vocals are so just good. The vocals are so clean, and it's just such a good feel to the album. And the album just has complete good setup with the first tracks, and it's just such a good album, and it's a good one to check out. And then we go to number 13 with Elder Omens, a Doom. I think Doom. I'm gonna consider it Doom. I think they have 4 songs on this album. It's almost an hour long. Of course it is, because, well, doom metal is that way. Doom metal, sludge, that type of stuff. Like, yeah, it's always like that. They always have long songs, and they're usually very, very, very boring. But this one is not. Gloomy vocals, but sometimes very uplifting, which is weird. I've never heard a band be so gloomy but then uplifting at the same time. It just gives weird vibes. It just weirds you out all the way through the album, but it's just enjoyable, and it keeps you, like, hooked. Very weird album. Very weird album, but a good album, and definitely belongs on this list. Number 12. Here we go. Here we go. Like Moths to Flames. Metalcore. Of course, metalcore. It's got to be on here. First song is great. Vocals are amazing. This album is... clean, hard-hitting choruses on this. The choruses, fantastic. Love choruses. Love the clean, when they do the harsh vocals and then go to clean choruses and then harsh vocals, and that's what they do. Does a good job with slow metalcore songs. Another thing that a lot of bands kind of miss out on is slow metalcore songs. This album surprised me in how good it was, because really I can expect mostly just the common thing from metalcore, just the back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, usually from metalcore, which this really did, but really did it in a way that kind of was different than that and kind of gave me a different vibe from it. So there you go. Number 11. One of my favorite bands that I recently got into a couple of years ago, Black Dahlia Murder, with Verminous. Oh my god, a new Black Dahlia album. I wanted to see the day where I got to review a new Black Dahlia album, and I did. In one of the videos, I gave it a 95 out of 100, that's just bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Don't take that video for shit. This album is a lot more than a 95 right now, in my opinion. It's definitely like 100. Like, the only track that I really don't... I like the track, but it's not up to standard with the other parts of the album, is Godlessly. Verminous starts the album fantastic. The riffs are fantastic on this album. It's mostly a riff-driven album. The deep, just really guttural vocals, and then just the screamed vocals are just fantastic together. It blends well. Child of Night, fantastic song. Removal of the Oaken Stake. Sunless Empire. Oh my god, Sunless Empire is a really good... That's like one of my favorites ones off here. The Leather Apron Scorn, awesome song. How Very Dead. The Werewolf's Feast, a little bit on the slower side, but I still like it. A Womb in Dark Crystallis, which is a interlude, and then Dawn of Rats. Dawn of Rats is just this weird blast beat carried song that just has just riffs interchanged and then goes back to it and then goes back to it and back to it. It's kind of weird. I like it. It's a good ending, and then the end is just the sound of the whole picture. Like you could just picture this, just the water, the whatever the green stuff is dripping down, like you could hear it trickle down, and then the guy comes on the voice and says like "Children of the Night" or something like that. It's definitely a good release and definitely one to check out. It's definitely pretty consistent, even with the ones that I don't think that are up to par with the other ones. They still fit the bill to this album. I look at if they fit the bill to the album as well. If they're just completely out of it and just not as inspired as tracks. These tracks are as inspired, but they just didn't turn out like one of my favorites. But they're still perfect tracks. So yeah, Black Dahlia Murder at number 11. Number 10 will be coming up in the next video. Hopefully you guys like the redo version, because, well, I'm never going to post the original version, so just have that in mind that you'll never see the original version, and I don't know why I'm telling you. I'm telling this is a re-recording because maybe it's not as good. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. I've already recorded all the other parts, and they are fantastic, and I'm pretty sure this video is fantastic. So, and I did fix a little stuff because I did go a little bit bonkers when it came to Dawn of Solace and that stuff. I kind of explained it a little bit more, kind of have more of a thought process behind it. My headache is not as bad as it was from the prior videos. So I'll see you guys in part 4, the final part, and you will see some absolute crazy albums coming up in part 4. Stay tuned for that. If you are not a metal listener and you came here from TikTok, welcome to the channel, and check out some of the albums that I recommend. Don't check out a lot of these on this list, because these are a lot of albums that people that get into like the really heavy, like black metal, death metal stuff, what people will like. I do have some that like symphonic that you might get into, but yeah, I like more of like black metal, death metal, and or not even deathcore. I don't really like deathcore too much, but there is deathcore on this ranking. So yeah, I'll see you guys in part 4.